Hello, it's always a pleasure to be with you on this show, Conversations. Now, we started a conversation last week and it's all about the climate and its effects on our health. One of the places we get to feel it is the skin. It is said to be the largest organ in human body, and it's imperative that it must look good. A lot of times people begin to understand or feel you just by looking at you. So we try as much as we can to ensure that the skin stays healthy. Different things affect it. One primary one is the weather. How does it affect the skin, and how can we go about taking care of it to ensure that we continuously glow as much as we desire? My name is Elizabeth, and I said it is a conversation, meaning that I am not here alone. We have people, especially a doctor, a dermatologist, who will be guiding us on how to ensure that as much as the air is dry and hot, we continue to radiate. So let me start by Doctor. I wanted to introduce you, but do it yourself.
Okay, my name is Perpetua Ibikwe. I'm a dermatologist with the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital. I'm also a senior lecturer with the University of Abuja.
Okay, so meaning that I should bring my pen and paper and continue to take notes as well. All right, and the gentleman who is not scared of women.
Blessed are you.
Amongst women. Yeah, my name is Stanley. I am an entrepreneur and also a risk manager. So
okay, so even when I have risk with my skin, you can help me? Or is it just financial?
Risk is all inclusive.
Oh, that's
not just
great.
even in your home. You face it every day.
Okay.
Sleeping and waking up. So it's all
risk.
inclusive.
Nice. And
My name is Enobon Robin. I am here to learn from her and him and to contribute my 2 cents.
is the climate change, if you ask me, Hamatan. Yes, and of course it affects on our skin, how to care for it. Now, doctor, a lot of times this period, somebody told me that if you want to marry a woman, you should wait for Hamatan. So that you get to find out the true skin of the woman.
Your children in future. Now.
Is that true?
It's possible, so that you don't make that mistake of if I had known.
Was it racist?
No, but you just said it so that it doesn't affect your children. But however, she's here, she will put us through.
How does that work?
Most times during Harmattan, we have 2 key things that can affect the skin. The high humidity, and that means, the low humidity, and that means there's increased loss of water from the skin, so the skin is always dry. And then this is also the period where there's absolutely poor cloud, so it doesn't absorb most of the sun, so we just have a direct heat of the sun. So those are the 2 dangers that we expect during the Harmattan. So most times, thank God it's for a period, it's not throughout the whole year, but during this period you can have some damage, but it won't be so obvious that you'll be saying that let me wait to get a wife then. And it's interesting, let me just digress a little bit, that when it comes to caring for the skin, it's actually the men that are at fault, because they don't take care of their skin as the woman does.
Shots fired.
So I think it should be the other way around. The woman should open their eyes and look during the Harmattan for the man to marry.
Well, what you're saying is correct, because my dad has an extremely dry skin. When I say extreme, I mean you look at his legs and it's all messed up.
Yeah.
So growing up, my mom, they got married and she didn't see, according to her, he was handsome and all that. Check. So they get married and Harmattan comes and she sees it.
Yeah.
And she says she started going on a fasting and praying that he doesn't pass it to any of, her kids. Unfortunately, my sister took the skin. So every time she needs to buy one product, see one dermatologist, she's like, I shouldn't have married your father because of his skin. And I'm like, this woman, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But it really worries her. It's a serious concern for her. But as God will have it, when she was born way back, I think there was dermatology, but the awareness, it wasn't this vast. So then, can I mention products? Am I allowed to?
No.
Okay, but glycerin is like, it's not a product, it's just one of these things people use, right? So she was always researching products. This one will come, oh, use this, use that. She just kept using. At some point, she stopped.
Yeah.
Because of that, I started to go and read something related to the field because of her skin. She's taking care of it better now. It's improving because sunscreen, vitamin C, kojic acid, plenty products, this one, but it's really a struggle for her, especially during Harmattan. So
Okay, now
the thing is that most people, there are so many products and there are so many experts where the skin is concerned. There's one thing that people...
I like the way you put it, experts.
Yeah, experts. There are so many people that mix all sorts of things.
Because I'm about to ask you a lot of questions.
Some of them don't even... I've never been to school to know anything of what those chemicals represent. They've not done research to see the effect of their imagination, because that's where it starts from, their imagination on the skin. Does it work? And secondly is that what works for person A does not work for person B. Okay, so that's one of the things people should be aware of. Yeah, concerning the dry skin, you mentioned glycerin. Glycerin will not help the dry skin. Okay, because we're talking of we're talking of a loss of water. You can just imagine you keep the ground in the desert. When there's cracks, you see those pictures. Or example I give is a bread that you put on the table during Harmattan. See how it shrinks.
Yeah.
It shrinks up, and it requires you pouring some moisture for it to come back.
Yeah.
So if you don't apply a body cream that helps the moisture from the skin, because you can't get from the atmosphere anymore because of this low humidity.
Yeah.
The one that is leaving your skin should be able to trap it within the skin, and so gives it that bounce. Then you won't succeed in whatever you're doing.
So for now, what's really you're talking about? All those cream we hear, moisturizing, lotion, stuff like that.
The thing is that the particular creams that could help are actually very few in the market. So things that contains urea, for instance.
Urea.
Yeah,
Urea.
Yes,
Urea is not
urine,
the grandfather of urine.
Because it's the same thing. I was going to say,
Same
are
thing.
you saying we should rub urine on our body?
It's not urine. It's not urine. It's
So how do we know that those creams contain?
You check the-
urea?
It's
We
usually
check
every
the
content.
content of
And
it.
there's a percentage, okay?
Okay.
So at least the one that is effective is from 8%, 10%, 12% urea can actually make a dry skin more moisturized.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that's like number one. Then you have things that contain cetaphils.
Cetaphil.
Yeah, so cetaphil can work. Those are the two that we know for now really works. Though some products contain oatmeal that seems to also give some bounce.
The
to
oatmeal
skin.
where we eat.
The one that is used on body cream
Urea and
it
oatmeal,
wouldn't be
they
the same
inside
as the
cream
one you
product.
eat, but it's
okay.
still basically the same product.
Okay. Now, how do
Okay.
you treat your dry skin?
Well, I was fortunate to have a wife who is very conscious of her skin. And by the way, my skin is better than hers.
Excuse me.
No,
Excuse me.
She may
men
not
have
watch. No,
the
I
best
know why
skin.
I say that.
Yeah.
She has this very dry skin. Her skin is so dry, so she's always, having one
Managing it.
product or the other. Either vitamin C syrup,
Definitely will
this
not help.
other one, so at
Vitamin
least,
C syrup will not help.
you see,
Wow.
so
So
I'm just
we
trying to
spend our
mention
money
the few
away.
I see on the table. Most times the table is so filled
With products.
But for me, just like you said that, the men care less, I want to agree with you. There was one particular day she was like, that you need to take care of your skin. And that skin was my only skin. But do you know something happened one day? That thing she said just dawned on me. I drove myself to a shop, a cosmetic. What's the name of this shop? Somewhere in
No,
Glycerin.
don't mention
I
the
won't
brand.
mention it. So I drove myself in, and I was like, I need something for myself. Then the girl was like, I said, yes, for me, it's for me. So she brought different range of products, and I'm like, okay, no problem. And I got one. So it's a conscious effort, it's a deliberate thing, depending on what you want. You understand? Depending on what you want. But then I want to come in a different angle now. You know, when you started, you said something about climate change. So now, you know, fine, maybe because I'm a risk person anyway. So now, when we talk about climate change, we know that a lot of things has happened in the atmosphere.
Yes.
Combustion, chemical components, and all that. Does it really have impact on the skin? That's what I want to know.
Yes,
Because if we
Without
say,
being a dermatologist, I know that the answer is yes.
how
You
much
feel it.
information do people out there have?
Yes.
You understand? Because yes, it's a global thing. Climate change is a global thing. Nations, for a few weeks ago, they concluded the Glasgow conference on climate change. But it's as if, yes, we're looking at the economy, Let us come down to individual. How do we respond? How does it affect us as individual vis-a-vis our skin? Of course, we buy cream. Just very few people know that this is a sun. What do you call it
A
now?
sunblock.
Sunblock, and just
Sometimes.
you know, just to
And
ask, do
sunscreen.
people really have this knowledge out there, or is it just that they depend on the people, the cosmetologists they see everywhere now? Go to Instagram, you see a lot of them. This cream, this,
Basically,
that. So
even with that, like, I'm a layman, she's a professional.
yeah.
Say it's a 70-30 answer. 70 meaning that I think people are aware,
Okay.
because we have an inflow of, we call them estheticians. We have we spa people having, you have social media, so there's information. When you look at your skin and you have like hyperpigmentations and you're not comfortable with it, well, we are the Google doctors and Google professionals. We enter there, you know, we start reading stuff. The moment you're not comfortable with your skin, you enter Google, you read. When you now start trying and you're not comfortable, most people don't even understand the role that dermatologists play. They first go to estheticians, who oftentimes just prescribe from a list of products they have.
They first
They go to their friends and say, what are you using?
Yeah, your skin is fine. What are you
What are you
using?
using?
Do you understand? So yes, little bit. The information might be wrong. Like today, I'm just hearing that there's something that like urea that should be present in the skin to help with, you know, maintaining the moisture. Before, I thought maybe during Harmattan, the only thing you use is just a product that is moisture based. I didn't know what moisture was. My own was just maybe water. You know, I didn't know that there was a particular ingredient you should look out for. So I would say the information is out there. You understand? What people should learn to understand the role that a professional dermatologist plays. Not really, esthetician, I learned from the house of this, I learned from the
You
father
understand?
of this,
That's
I
like
learned
the
from
end thing
this.
today.
You
Yeah.
know, because
Just
they
go
test
on.
your skin. They actually
Okay, so-
test your skin and they know exactly what to give to you. Well, all of us.
All right,
we
so
do-
now, Doc, I know that about this period, pretty much with us for a very long time now, people go back to stuff like shea butter.
Yes.
You know, I don't know, is shea butter also, does it have that urine? Oh, no, urea.
Well, the truth is that, let me just say that out of all there's this, I don't know if anybody has noticed, that we have a trend in Nigeria. There was a year for aloe vera, then there was a year
Very
for shea
correct.
butter, there was a year for coconut.
Oil,
Now it's vitamin C and
syrup.
Yeah, right. I think
see
last
that.
this year was for
What's-
snail
this snail, this product.
product.
Now
So
I think
I'm
it's
hoping what
vitamin
next year will
C
be.
and-
There is this
It
But
will be
one of the
snake.
ones that have stayed
Yeah,
One of the ones that
Arsenic-
have stayed
arsenic acid.
is shea butter. And actually, we as an association, we want to work on it to see what can
The efficacy.
what can effect of shea butter, especially with weather. But the truth is, for now, I will sort of equate it with the petrolatum that you have in Vaseline.
Okay.
Basically, I'm yet to see if there's a difference between the two, but that's a research that if we had funds, would be something that we really try, because shea butter has proven itself over time, because it has passed through its own year of launching and it's still being talked about up till now. So it's something to work on. I think most dermatologists agree with me that it's something that we need to work on. But some people, for my own personal experience with patients, there are some people that have used shea butter and it did not work to improve their skin. So
Shea butter actually makes me very dark.
There's different thing for different
shea butter,
people.
coconut oil, they make me dark. Like,
Okay, now about this
that
period,
is
frying my
relative.
skin.
When they talk about darkness, that is
it's
relative.
also relative.
Really?
Yes,
Some people
because
say
you
it
can
is-
wonder, but the time somebody tells you that you are looking dark, were you in the sun or was the person in the sun?
Oh,
I
really?
always use
Yeah,
sun.
because maybe somebody you didn't see before sees you and something happens.
Me,
It's usually
I
a
know when I
relative
am
thing.
darker because I know these things. You understand?
So it depends on the eye that is seeing her.
Exactly. So you have to watch out for that first, because a lot of people are deceived when they say they meet somebody and they say, you are so dark, but meanwhile it's not true. It's the person's eye looking at you from the sun. So you have to rule that out first.
Serious.
If it's the only person that is telling you you are darker, or out of the 10 people you meet, only 2 tells you you are darker, then you know something is wrong. It
All
is
right,
not
still
true.
moving about into the content of cream. About this period, really, there's a lot of festivity going on. Weddings are going on. My friend here told me that she's on target Weight Watch. Ladies are trying to look as beautiful as they are, and we go out to do some kind of cream. At a point, I heard that mercury is not good. At another point, again, I heard that hydroquinone is not good.
Yes.
But these are content of most creams that bleach the
Organic.
Organic and natural.
Yes, and then we have also gone, to the point where people actually get to swallow pills to look good. Are these things
The injection as well.
okay? The injection as well.
Injection,
Okay. So are these things okay? And to what extent can they help or damage us?
Well, number one, they are not okay. Okay. In fact, when you look through history, when mercury was first developed, they felt it was an in thing. Nobody knew the side effects until a few years after. Then realized that the side effects of mercury use was horrible. And then you now had hydroquinone. Hydroquinone became the in thing, and then side effects of hydroquinone was also seen to be horrible. So that is the way we're looking at the present ones, the ones that are injected and drinking. We've seen side effects, but we don't know what it will be in a few years' time. What we advocate is that there's really no need for someone to change their skin color. And the thing that saddens me is that the group of people that end up spending so much money, going through all this stress, actually have the best of skin. Yes,
they
have the best of skin.
So what's prompting that?
I don't know. Everybody wants to
Low
look like a white person. I don't understand it.
Let's say that.
I meet them and I say, your skin is so beautiful. Why do you want to lighten it up? This color is beautiful.
No, they don't say lighting now. They say
toning.
Whatever it is, brightening. It is not necessary.
3 tones
It is not necessary. It just opens you up. Like now you have hydroquinone, especially those that start using it at very young age. You now have this pigmentation by the side of that is not a pigmentation. That is a deposit inside the skin. So there's no amount of rubbing, application of cream you are going to put there that is going to remove that pigmentation. But the vicious cycle is now set. You now use more cream on it, and this is caused by hydroquinone. So you now use more hydroquinone, you are still depositing more things under the skin. So the second thing again is, by the time they are 50 or they are 45, they are looking like someone that is 65. But people don't think about that. That is the reason why they are jealous of the black people in America. Because they will look young for a long time. People forget that the skin, like every other part, ages. Let it age well. You can't stop aging. You can't say, I will become 25 forever. Your skin will age like your whole body. But don't accelerate it by subjecting it to such things.
There's this experiment I saw some lady on TikTok, she was trying to tell people about the danger of the whole natural organic stuff, cream and everything. So she got a container and put like 3 different creams, 2 organic and 1 regular one you buy from the store, and then she poured bleach on each of them. The organic ones turned black almost immediately. Yes, so it turned black, and then the regular one, nothing happened to it. So she's like, when people tell you, oh, this is organic, oh, organic cream, everything natural, this is what you're actually depositing on your skin. You can't really have this process without you having some good chemicals in it, and that is why people who are professionals actually take time to manufacture this thing.
Exactly.
But the trend is still ongoing. Is there a regulating body in Nigeria that checks what is going on, like maybe Sun, NAFDAC and all that? Because the trend of organic cream on social media is alarming. Is there a body that stops these people? Of course, you can't tell somebody that has 1.5 that wants to glow, in quotes, not to buy on Instagram, but is there anything you are doing as an organization to stop the spread of organic cream, or maybe regulate or monitor how it is manufactured and what they are selling to the final consumers? Because this is not even funny.
It's not. The thing is that somebody has asked us that we advocate, we have bodies, but it's like a cancer. I don't think they have enough manpower to follow up everybody that is on Instagram. I sort of bear with them, because I don't think NAFDAC or Sun have the manpower to go and be arresting everybody that posts things, especially with the internet. Some even like what you just said, I didn't see it. But what she said, I don't know what she did and turned it black. But I tell every patient that when they say they are, it's natural. What are you naturally? What is inside the natural thing? There's no, if we know the chemicals that make somebody's lighting, and it's very clear, there's nothing new that we don't know. So the person can't say that this natural thing is lightning and has not put those things inside. And the danger is that they say it's natural. Because it's natural, they don't feel obligated to print out their ingredients.
Exactly.
Which is even more dangerous. Because somebody should not be selling anything consumable without having an ingredient. People can have adverse reactions. Adverse reaction is what you do not expect, what you do not prepare to happen. You should know that.
Know what you use.
Yes,
so that you
the
can
person
help
needs
reverse.
Yeah, exactly. That. Because it will happen. It's something with drugs that we take to treat ourselves. You have the normal reaction. This drug is supposed to treat malaria.
It's always
but at the back of the manufacturer's mind, they know that it's likely somebody is going to take this drug and have an adverse reaction that is not for treating malaria. So I think it's the onus is on whoever is manufacturing this natural thing, that they owe it to mankind to be fair. Because you shouldn't wait for a policeman to tell you to pack well or not to go and steal before you know what to do.
Exactly. Now, Stanley, I would like to know again. You told me that you went out there and bought yourself some cosmetics. That's quite encouraging. How do you use it?
I'm curious.
How else do we use it?
No, how from here to here?
No. Well, you would say from here to here, but men, we are always in a hurry.
Yeah, that is an excuse.
We're always in a hurry. You want to just do it snappy and off you
So
go.
how long do you use your cup of cream? Assuming it's this size, how long? How many years?
Yes, no, not years. It depends on how many meals or whatever you measure it with. But the thing is this, of recent, I don't know, maybe she will also help. I learned that it's better to cream at night. So because of that, even if I don't do an intensive one in the morning, I know I have an evening to make up.
I don't know if Madam is watching, but if she's watching, she will clearly tell you that even that night, you do here and do here.
Yours truly, you do here and do here and do here, and we are off.
With one one swoop, Abi. You just take one. That one we do here.
It depends on the
Then we are
quantity,
doing here.
you know. But it's just about a man's word, but we are trying to change the narrative. That's why I could drive into say, look, I want to get mine. But another thing is that I get so confused these days. You know, you get to the shelf, all you see is whitening.
Yeah.
Lightening, toning,
You
brightening.
understand? I could spend like
Hours.
30 minutes, 1 hour just looking for normal moisturizer.
You are not
Why
I
alone.
think what you should do is, me, I will
It's a
collect her
challenge.
number as well.
No,
It's
I'm happy
best-
that I'm meeting
exactly.
her.
All you need
But
to do
then-
is read it. I tell patients that don't allow yourself to be bamboozled. You know, you went to school for a reason. So, like me, even as I am, when I go shopping for body cream, I stand there and read everything.
I'm telling you, I could
I
spend
read it
hours
like now
just
that we are
trying to buy
it's
it.
encouraged that we, even though we have dark skin, we should use sunscreen, especially during this
Yeah.
period. But it was so shocking the other day in clinic. A patient that needed sunscreen, I prescribed sunscreen, actually brought the sunscreen to me, and what is written there is whitening cream. And then down there,
all
because
you
I said
see
for
is
for
whitening.
for for it to be a sunblock or a sun protection cream, it should have an SPF number. So
Okay.
that this particular had you said, doctor, but you said SPF. Look at it written down there, SPF 50. Well, I was like, wow. I was like, but I didn't say you should buy a whitening cream. So now I have changed my tactics. I will
Okay.
tell them, buy a sun protection cream, but make sure that it's not written there whitening, toning, glowing. A sunscreen should be a sunscreen.
No,
Should not
but
be a
dog,
combination of
unfortunately,
anything.
the shelf is
It's
full
hard. Even
You
the
take your
soap to
time.
bath.
Actually,
Most soap also have brightening
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whitening
of
attached.
honestly.
Auntie
So
Lizzie.
you get to the shop, you're just confused.
No,
all
but
you see
nowadays
is
I
whitening,
notice that they
whitening.
put
No.
the whitening cream on one section,
Yeah.
and then the ones that
toning,
are
the
for
brightening,
the
because there
other
are three
ones
different
are-
languages in
But are
the
they not the
cosmetic
same
world.
thing? Toning,
Yeah, according to them,
they
whitening,
are all the same thing.
they're all the same thing. So it's just a matter of how the manufacturer decides to put his own.
The sunscreen, a lot of times I hear that you need to apply it and reapply within a given time.
Yes.
How do I use it? I mean, if I'm working, am I going to be using sunscreen every 5?
No. Right now, in fact, sunscreen is even evolving. So depending on which blocking it's doing. So some block UVA, some block UVB. That was how it started. But even now, it's advocated that you get the one that blocks for visible light, because it also has DNA damage to the skin. Ordinarily, most sunscreen should be applied at least every 3 hours.
So if I'm in the office,
Either you are in the office or you are
so
outside.
after 3 hours I go to the bathroom and put a bit of the sunscreen.
What if you have makeup? Because I have sunscreen first, and then I have makeup on.
So
Sunscreen
you
primer
wipe it.
before this makeup.
Okay.
I can't apply.
Probably you
sunscreen
just
again.
No,
What do I
remove the
do?
makeup
You
and
Is there a
reapply.
sunscreen spray that you
There's
know?
a spray. There are
Okay.
sunscreen sprays. There are sunscreen lotions. So it's evolved. We have so many. But my problem now is Nigerians. We know we import almost everything, and we are used to join. So the ones that you buy that contain other harmful things, now we have to start sifting from the market. But they are the ones that you spray, which is the one I really like. I like the roll-on one too.
Oh, there's a roll-on one.
Yeah, that one is so lovely. That's the one I prefer. So you just rub it and you don't need to. And then there are presently right now there are those that most sunscreen, when you use them, they start being this white.
Yes,
They leave
I
like a
don't like
white
those
paint.
ones.
But right now we have ones that just
Melt into your
Melt.
skin. Yeah, those are the ones that.
All right, no, doctor, we started a conversation with him, and I still want to pick on that, how he rubs his cream. And while we were that, he said, you just take this and it goes round. Educate us, how do we use our cream? Because particularly for me, I can finish a whole cup in 1 week, and everybody think I'm wasteful. You see, did you see? Just like that
Because
serious.
Mike will
Even
take
me, I'm
you
like serious.
like
I use
half
it.
the year.
This
My
is-
cream is like
this is
3
like 2
months.
weeks for
I
me.
use a very. I use
No,
very
this is like 2
little.
weeks.
Mike will take me half the
Otherwise,
year.
I'll feel very dry. So, and everybody thinks it's wasteful.
no, it's not.
Okay.
So we actually have a measurement. So we use the index finger. So the distance from the tip to this first crease. So you use that, you put it on, you rub it. That is 2 finger units. So So this is two finger. The one finger unit is used for the face.
Okay.
So you can now measure it up. You can have like, I think for the hand you have 4. You have 4. So that means when you take one and rub, this one should sort out one hand.
Oh, okay.
Take another one and sort out the other hand. And then you take for your trunk and for your back. For your leg you need like 2 or 3 out of, so twice. So that's basically, so I used to tell patients, just imagine that you are the person plastering a wall. Just imagine that is what you are doing to your skin. So if you are not applying enough cream to cover up these areas, then you know that you are not doing a proper job.
Are you
So doing a cup a week is
so
not wrong.
it's not a matter of cup. You know, nowadays things have reduced in quantity. What used to be 400 mils.
Even
So what we're looking at is mils now. So
Okay.
or grams. So
Okay.
basically 60 grams or 60 mils should be able to last somebody for a week.
Did you hear him? That from
But
here
you could take
down
close
to
to
the,
here.
that he can do it for 1 year. You're not rubbing cream.
Really?
Yes. You should put a bit of cream on your
No,
body.
it's good to know because you said 1 week. I'm like, 1 week for this. This is like a
Doctor,
full
I need to ask. Soap. I mean, it's climate changer, but does soap really play a vital role? Okay, I don't know how to ask my question.
I get you. As far, can you use soap to do anything?
Can you improve? Is it a myth or a fact that soap actually helps improve the skin?
Well, ordinarily when you look at the soap and the water, even pouring water on your body makes your skin dry. It gives you dry skin. So the soap itself, in addition to causing dryness, you can also decrease the pH, that's the skin acidity of the skin, depending on the type of soap you are using. So there are some, like the medicated soap for instance, or the tablet soaps have more soda, so they are going to like increase the acidity. We're looking for neutral or something a little bit more acid. We don't need alkaline. So that's on one side. So we are using a soap, and this is particular for those that don't have problem with their skin. It doesn't apply to them because they are free. But for those that have dryness of the skin, you know that your skin is already dry before even bathing. So we sort of advocate that you don't you try to use a soap that is less acidic. You know, so like liquid soaps for instance, I used to tell my patients that's what I would prefer, because when you use liquid soap, by the time you finish, you still feel your skin is not dry. You can still like the water can still pass through. That's the effect that we want for such. And then you quickly, even if you want to towel, you put body cream. So the effect of this, coming back to your question, the effect of the soap is not so much, except if the person applies the soap. I know of people that apply soap and walk away, or they don't wash out the soap. So that is when the soap will have an effect on them. But most times the effect of the soap doesn't really last, especially if you are going to use a moisturizer afterwards.
Okay, so we will quickly take a short break. When we come back, there's a whole lot to still find out. You like to have a hot bath, and some other persons like to have cold bath. Are we still advised to do that within this period? The show is Conversation. We'll be right back. Don't go.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take its pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes.
If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that, and I said,
This show is conversation, and we're still talking skin and ensuring that we look good despite climate change. A lot of things have been going on, and you were talking about the weather changing and it staying with us, right?
Yeah.
Let me quickly take you to the doctor. I know that when we talk about weather, there's something, I don't know what it looks like, but I've heard about it, oxidants and antioxidants and stuff like that in the air, which can actually affect us in more ways than we know, including the skin. Now, we do a lot of antioxidants, by our consumption in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Can we also consume certain things that could be beneficial? I don't know. Have you heard about cucumber? Eating cucumber?
Tomatoes.
What other things can we consume to help, hydrate the skin? Because some people don't like drinking water, so what can we consume to help our skin?
When it comes to, I think water is universal.
Some people
So
don't like
if
water.
you don't like water, then you have to find a substitute, because if you don't take water, not only is your skin going to be affected, the kidneys are going to be affected as well. For all the other antioxidants, the reason why we need antioxidants are just basically because let's take the sun, which is direct damage of the DNA onto our skin. So the antioxidants are sort of trying to link up with whatever the damage the sun has caused, and the deposit from that reaction, instead of it being left on our skin, that antioxidant takes it up and converts it to something else. So people in chemistry will understand that kind of thing. But the truth is that whether we eat it or not, is the question now, is that by eating it, are you taking in enough antioxidants for that? The answer I will give is that you don't have to seek an antioxidant to eat or to drink in order to keep your skin soft and young. Just take a balanced diet, because sometimes you take too much of that and it ends up backfiring the other way, because those antioxidants, they are like magnets, or positive and negative pole. So they are like a negative pole, they are attracted to a positive pole. They have to be linked up with something. If they can't link up with the damaged skin, they will end up linking up with your normal skin, and that will also cause a problem. So people have to cultivate the idea of having a balance in their lives.
That's fair.
Well, let me come in here. I quite agree with you. Having balanced diet, I'm an advocate of eat well, live well, before the cream, because if you eat healthy, it takes care of your skin naturally. I believe that. But if we look at the present day Nigeria, the economy, are we really eating well? That is the question. Okay, that aside, now I'm still looking at the effect of the environment. Now, I don't know if you have gone to the industrial areas.
Like Port Harcourt.
Thank you. To be precise, Port Harcourt, and you have experienced the suit. You've not experienced the suit. It's terrible. Where you will touch the table and your hand
It's black.
black.
Wow.
Black dust.
Wow.
You see them.
You see it. Park your car in the night, come out in the morning, it's covered.
OMG.
It's that bad. So now, while we are having this conversation, I started, picture. I'm from Port Harcourt, I'm from River State. I started picturing
That's how it's going to be on your skin too.
Thank you. So now, even if you say, oh, just wash, I still want to believe that there would have been some chemical deposits on your skin. How do you take care of that? Because if you don't know that you have these chemical deposits, you could go buy your normal cream and you even make it worse, because some of the creams and the soap we buy already chemical, and you have a reaction.
You don't have reaction on your body.
You understand? So
I think maybe I just to say that the skin, as you see it, has defense mechanism.
Okay.
So it has defense mechanisms where if anything should come in, the skin is ready to. In fact, the skin has one of the best defense mechanisms of the body. So anything comes in, they are ready to attack. It's only when they get overwhelmed that people come down with diseases and even cancer for that instance. Also, for people there's apart from the fact that we are moisturizing your skin by rubbing a body cream, we are also it's also acts like improves the skin barrier. So when you have instead of just leaving the barrier, the skin has a barrier on its own, but with a proper body cream, you improve and solidify the barrier, so that even when those things touch your skin, it won't end up automatically eliciting the reaction.
Okay, they could just be on the surface.
They'll be on the surface, waiting for you to wash it off, and then you are okay. The one I'm really afraid of, that we should be afraid of, is when you have to breathe in. Though the respiratory system also has defense mechanisms, it has cilia that will trap these things, but sometimes the body can get overwhelmed. But it's not like it's an automatic thing. Maybe it's not, the body is prepared to protect us either way.
Okay, you said that the skin could get overwhelmed. So at what point, if it's so that I can also know what to do?
Someone that has a dermatitis, for instance. I don't want to use eczema because people see eczema as something different, but let's say a dermatitis, for instance, destroys this barrier. It's one of the things of dermatitis. So I usually use this example for my patients. You are building a wall, you have a block and you have a cement. So you can imagine if the cement in between the blocks are absent. So you have these openings there. So such openings, the things from outside can easily enter. So when that happens, there are two things that can happen. You can have a direct reaction because of the defense mechanism of the skin. So you can have the skin reacting immediately. The second thing that can happen is that the skin will grab this substance, take it to your lymph node, and they go and process it there. Say, okay, this thing is not okay. So they have already copied the name. Let me use name of this chemical. So the next time this chemical comes up, the skin will attack it. So it has you can say it has developed a defense mechanism for this particular chemical. That's where you have allergy. That's when you have allergy coming in. So the body, thank God, has been programmed to take care of itself. But another period when the skin can be overwhelmed is if a patient already is immunocompromised. So he's already overwhelmed, he can't take care of himself, then he won't be able to fight from outside.
Wow. Okay, we talked earlier about taking a bath, hot water and cold water. Some people tell you they take their bath as much as 3 times a day. Oh, in Nigeria it's too hot. In Africa it's too hot. The Sahel is too hot and stuff like that. So we keep washing and washing. Educators, I like hot bath too.
Well, I'm laughing because it's a hot debate. If I don't know if anybody was following the social media in US where
they have the ice water stuff.
No, there is these 2 actors, a couple that came out and said they don't bathe their children. They only bathe their children once in a week. And so there was this back and forth. People are saying they don't need to bathe every day. Some say they bathe every day. So it's a hot debate right now. Do you bath with hot or do you bath with cold? Really, why do you want to do any? I think, like I said, the body has a defense mechanism. So let's look at it scientifically. You take hot bath. When you take hot bath, that is going to dilate your blood vessels. So your blood vessels are going to be dilated. You are going to feel hot.
When you say dilate, what does it mean?
Sorry, it's going to widen.
Oh, okay.
Widen. If you bathe with cold water, it's going to constrict. It's going to be. But it's just for that period. Once you finish bathing, your body goes back to
status quo.
Status quo, yeah. So depends on what makes you happy, really.
It doesn't really matter the temperature of the water.
It doesn't really matter the temperature. But of course, you won't go and do very cold, because that could end up, it could constrict such a way that the constriction could last in such a way that it will block blood supply to the tissue and then cause death to the tissue. Yes. Or you bath with very hot and then you have burns coming out of your skin. So that we don't advocate. But in between, the temperature
Okay, so how about taking our bath every day?
Sorry. It's still the bathing thing. There's a novel I read one time. The lady was a model. I mean, novel-wise. Now I need to know, according to her, to maintain her skin, she needs to have a bath with very cold water. Now that was the first time of me reading it, and I started checking.
Very cold, as in
yes, like cold water, that it helps maintain their skin and all that. She was a model. I started checking it out, like reading it up, Google. Sorry, don't blame me. I started Googling, like, what is that? Does cold water really help? Make the skin intact and all that. Some people actually,
they will swear by it, but
yes,
like I said, it's just this is what it happens. The vasoconstriction depends on what you are desiring for your skin, but ideally it should resolve back after some time, because the body will go back. The body seeks equilibrium. The skin also is part of the body seeks equilibrium. So once something is distorted, it's just like using this medicated soap. You hear the advert, 99.9% bacteria will clear. It clears, okay, yes, let's assume it clears at that moment you finish bathing. But before the end of the day, the bacteria are back.
How about when you put all these disinfectants in your water?
It comes back.
Oh, really?
Because it's their natural home. That is where they live. And we actually need those bacteria to maintain our skin integrity. It's needed, yes.
Okay,
so concerning bathing, wow.
Very interesting question.
It's a very interesting question. Well, this is my personal belief.
Okay.
For us in Nigeria, it's difficult not to tell somebody not to bathe in a day, because of the dust, the heat. Is not possible. So I will go for at least once or twice. But what do you do when you are bathing? It's not every time you should bathe with soap. Like we were talking about climate change. It's part of preserving the climate. When you like if you want to calm your wet body or your sweatiness, you can just pour water on your body. You don't need to use soap. So that's another way of preserving the climate. But not that every time I need to bathe, I will pour soap, I will do sponge. It's usually not necessary. But what is necessary, especially for those that have dry skin, is that make sure you moisturize afterwards.
Okay, so if I'm outside Nigeria, I have permission not to bath for 1 week?
Yes, because you can stay without feeling it. You're not sweating. They actually advocate it for their own atopic dermatitis patients. They tell them not to bathe every day, because of what I said about water causing dryness.
But you can clean your skin.
The essential areas.
Okay. All right. So between the morning bath and the night bath, you started that talk. Which one is more imperative? Which one is more important? I mean, morning.
And the creaming too. I talked about creaming, morning creaming and
between
night
the morning and evening, when is the best time to really give your skin?
I say it depends on the individual.
Oh, okay.
So if the individual does a lot of work, sweatiness during the day, then the night will be the best for that person. Well, if the person does night shift or something else, then morning. For someone like me, if I don't take my bath in the morning, I break out with acne before the end of the day, or I don't know why, but that's what happens. So I prefer a morning bath to an evening bath. So it depends on the individual.
All right, so the last thing I'll probably ask is the Harmattan, the season is dry, and the first thing you want to do is really to show more skin so you can take in more air. But someone told me, I don't know if it's real, that the best thing to actually do is to cover up the skin. You're the expert here. Should we, cover up more? And what kind of fabric is better around this period?
I will go with the person that says cover up more, because like the sun is very hard during this period. So it's like the clothing sort of protects us from the direct effect of the sun. It's doing what the clouds should have done.
But not black colors.
Not black colors, but let it preferably be more of cotton, something that will absorb the sweat if someone sweats, and keeps you cool inside.
Okay, that's
But
good.
if you move from AC to AC, it doesn't really matter.
If you wear black, what does it do? You heard
Well,
about
it's
that?
sort of
I wanted to ask that too.
it's an absorbent of heat, so you feel more hot even when the heat has gone.
Okay.
But then depending on where you are,
Exactly.
depending on where you
Because
are.
like now I'm cold.
Yes.
And
So
I,
if
I
you're-
also want
I'm
to
not
think
even
that.
Yeah.
Please, I'm not going to turn off this studio AC just because of the number.
But I also want to
Just
think
saying.
that your location, where you are, also plays a vital role in maintaining the skin.
Exactly.
Like if I stay in this kind of place, maybe my skin will be like.
Exactly.
So I think environment, but then
It plays a very big role.
there is nothing you can do if your environment is not like this. If you have to walk out there in the sun.
Just do more water. from
Yeah, you
what
get
just told us.
um,
Do a lot of water
this
and then
eyebrow
develop. Develop.
hearts.
Okay, hearts.
You know.
Okay.
So
okay.
Particularly for the albinos around this period.
a lot of people know that if there's one woman carrying umbrella in the market, Wuse market, Gariki market, at any point in time, it's me.
Actually, I recently saw two young ladies. One, they were doing morning exercise, and one was carrying an umbrella. I was like, wow, this is a good
Yeah.
one.
So no, then I'll wear a big dream heart. But that's how it is. Thank you for coming, Doctor, and thank you for coming, Stanley. Thank you. Why am I saying thank you for coming? You're part of the show. All right. Next week, another exciting package. Don't go away. For now, it's bye-bye.